So good afternoon, everyone. Let us start. Remember, we have been learning Chapter 3, Human Development with special reference to India of our NCERT textbook, India, People and Economy. Last time we discussed about different aspects of human development with special reference to India. Today we shall discuss about the additional indicators used by the Planning Commission of India, now known as Niti Aayog, to calculate the Human Development Index in different states of India. Now I shall share my screen. Okay, do you see my text screen? Okay, see here in this paragraph, it is already mentioned that using the indicators selected by the UNDP, the Planning Commission India also prepared the Human Development Report for India, for different states of India. So what are those indicators used by the United Nations Development Program? Do you remember what are the three indicators or the key areas used by the UNDP to find out the Human Development Index for different countries of world? Do you remember those key areas or indicators are health, then education, and the third one is access to resources. Okay, based on these three key areas, the UNDP calculates Human Development Index for different countries of the world. Likewise, the Planning Commission has also been preparing Human Development Index and a report for different states of India using those three indicators devised by UNDP. But in addition to those three indicators, some additional indicators are also developed by the Planning Commission, now known as Niti Aayog. So what are those the additional indicators? Let us learn. So the first indicator is known as the indicators of economic attainments. Indicators of economic attainments. So let us read what are the aspects used to measure the economic attainments. Let us read. Reach resource base and access to these resources by all, particularly the poor, downtrodden, and the marginalized, is the key to productivity, well-being, and human development. That means to measure the economic attainment of a country. To measure the economic attainment of any state in India, reach resource base and access to these resources by all the people of that state, or by all sections of the society, particularly the poor, the downtrodden, and the marginalized, is the key to the productivity, well-being, and the human development. Marginalized, as you know, related to a lower age of the society. Gross national product, GNP, and its per capita availability are taken as measures to assess the resource base and the endowment of any country. So to measure the resource base or the endowment, the resource endowment of any country, we use gross national product and its per capita availability. Okay, so what do you mean by gross national product? Do you remember that you have learned in economics class? Gross national product. Okay, I will tell you. So gross national product is the total value of goods and produce. Okay, gross national product is the total value of goods produced and the services provided by a country during 1 year, equal to the gross domestic product plus the net income from the foreign investment. That is gross domestic product plus net income from foreign investment. That is the gross national product. So this GNP and its per capita availability is taken as a measure to assess the resource base of a country or a state by the Planning Commission. Okay, the economic attainments and the well-being of individuals depend on the economic growth, employment opportunities, and the access to assets. Assets here means different resources. So economic attainment of the people depend on the economic growth of the state or the country, employment opportunities given by the state, and access to the resources, access to the assets. Okay, so these are the aspects used to measure the economic attainment of a country and a state by the Planning Commission. And see, over the year, per capita income and consumption expenditure in India has increased. That means improving. Okay, per capita income of the people and expenditure in India has been increased. As a result, there has been a consistent decline in the proportion of population living below the poverty line. So when the per capita income is increasing, then poverty, okay, it is directly related. Okay, poverty has been declining. There has been a consistent decline in the proportion, in the percentage share of the people living below the poverty line. So the percentage of persons below the poverty line in 2011 and 12 has been estimated 25.7 in rural areas, 13.7 in urban areas, and 21.9% for the country as a whole. So these are the values for the persons below the poverty line. Okay, the percentage of persons below the poverty line for the year 2011 and 12. Remember, the percentage of persons below poverty line in the rural areas is 25.7, in urban areas 13.7, and for India 21.9. Okay, and just read this table number 3.2, poverty in India 2011 and 12. In the first column we find states, and in the next column we find percentage of people, population below poverty line. And when we examine this table, you will find that, see, Chhattisgarh, okay, Chhattisgarh state has the largest number of people below poverty line. See here, the percentage of population below poverty line in Chhattisgarh is 39.93, which is the highest across the states. Whereas Goa, okay, Goa has only 5.09% of population below poverty line. The lowest one is Goa. Then what about Manipur? For Manipur, see here, Manipur 36.89% for our state. For our state, Manipur, the percentage of people living below the poverty line is 36.89. It's very high. Okay, but here according to this table, Chhattisgarh is the poorest state in India. Okay. So any question? Do you have any question?
No, sir.
And then let us continue. The data of poverty for the states show that there are states like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, and Madhya Pradesh, Manipur, and Orissa, and Dadra and Nagar Haveli, which have recorded more than 30% of population living below poverty line. So these states, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Manipur, Orissa. So these states have recorded more than 30% of their population below the poverty line. Or other states like Gujarat, Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir, Maharashtra, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Tripura, Uttarakhand, and West Bengal have recorded between 10 to 20% of their population below poverty line. Then Andhra Pradesh, Delhi, Goa, Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Punjab, Sikkim, Puducherry, Andaman Nicobar Islands, Daman and Diu, Lakshadweep have below 10% of their population below poverty line. Okay, so all these states and union territories have low percentage of population below the poverty line, that is only 10%. So this is about distribution of poverty in India. And if you see this map, then you'll find the same. Okay, just see here. See the index. Okay, tinting method is there. The darkest one, this one, represents 35 to 40% of population below the poverty line. Just see here, Jharkhand, as I have already told you, Jharkhand. Okay, Jharkhand. Then here Manipur is also scoring high in the matter of poverty. Okay, so Manipur, Jharkhand, and some other states are there. And next we have these 30 to 35%. And here, see, we have states like this Madhya Pradesh. Okay, and then here also we have Jharkhand. Jharkhand is also there. This is for the first category, 35 to 40. And for the next category, 30 to 35, we have Bihar, okay, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa also there. Okay, Orissa also there. Then Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. So these states are coming under this category. And let us see about states with 1 to 10%. So the light set here, we have Punjab, then Himachal Pradesh. Okay, and here we have Union Territory of Delhi. Here we have Sikkim. Okay, and here we have Kerala, then Goa, and see states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana is also here. So in this way, this map shows the distribution of poverty rates in India in the year 2012. Okay, so let us continue. Poverty, is a state of deprivation. Poverty is a state of deprivation, means not getting the entitlement. Okay, not getting the entitlements. And in absolute terms, poverty reflects the inability of an individual to satisfy certain basic needs for a sustained, healthy, and reasonably productive living. So poverty reflects the inability of an individual to satisfy certain basic needs for a sustained, healthy, and reasonably productive living. So this is the definition of poverty. And you must know that gross domestic product of a country does not fully reflect the quality of life of the country. Okay, you must know that GDP does not fully reflect the quality of life of a country. There are other factors like housing, access to public transport, air quality, and access to drinking water, okay, which also determine the standard of living. Then jobless growth, rampant unemployment are some of the important reasons for higher incidence of poverty in India. Okay, so these are the causes of poverty in India. Okay, so this is about the indicators of economic attainments. Remember, resource base, okay, resource base, and access to these resources by all is used to measure the economic attainments of the states of India. Up to here, any question?
Sir.
Okay. Next, we have the second indicators. That is indicators of a healthy life. Okay, who is a healthy person? Can you tell me who is a healthy person? Okay, see, it is here. Life free from illness and ailment and living reasonably long lifespan are indicative of a healthy life. Okay, so a person free from illness and a person who can live, okay, reasonably long lifespan is a healthy person. So to measure the health, okay, the health status of a state or a country, we use these two. Okay, we use these aspects. See, life free from illness and ailment and living a reasonably long lifespan are indicative of healthy life. So these are used to measure the health status. Ability of pre and post-natal healthcare facilities in order to reduce infant mortality and post-delivery deaths among the mothers. Old age healthcare, adequate nutrition, and safety to individual are some important measures of a healthy and reasonably long life. Okay. See, to improve the health status of a country or a state, we should be available, we should be accessible to the pre and post-natal healthcare facilities. Healthcare facilities before the birth and after the birth of the children. Okay, pre means before, post means after, natal healthcare means about the, it is related with the birth of the children. Okay, to reduce the infant mortality rate, to reduce the death of the infants, and to reduce the post-delivery deaths among the mothers. Sometime after the birth of the child, the mother may be dead. So to reduce the death of the mother, we must have a good health care facility. Then we must have all age health care, adequate nutrition to be provided. Then safety individuals should be there. So all these are some of the important measures of a healthy and a reasonably long life. Okay, and so India has done reasonably well in some of the health indicators, like decline in the death rate from 25.1 per thousand in 1951 to 6.5 per thousand in 2005. Do you hear me? Can
Yes,
you?
sir.
Okay. So we have been talking about the improvement in the healthcare facilities in India. India has done reasonably well in some of the health indicators like decline in the death rate. It was 25.1 per thousand in 1951 to 6.5 per thousand in 2015. That is the death. Now the death rate is only 6.5 per thousand, means 6 or 7 persons are dead per 1000, okay, in the year 2015. Likewise, we have improvement in the infant mortality from 148 per thousand to 37 during the same period. Okay, infant mortality rate also declined from 148 per thousand to 37, only 37 per thousand of children during the same period, that is during the 1951 to 2015. Similarly, it is also succeeded in increasing the life expectancy at birth from 37.1 years to 66.9 years for males, and for females 36.2 to 70 years for females from 1951 to 2015. Life expectancy is also improving, okay. The expected years that a person can live is also improving. It was only 37.1, so that means most of the people were dead at the age of 37 to 40 in 1951. Now we can live at least up to 66.9 for males, and females can live on the average up to 70 years minimum, okay, in 2015. And so these are the great achievements, but we need a lot of effort to improve. Then similarly, it has also done reasonably well in bringing down the birth rate from 40.8 to 20.8 during the same years. Okay, so India has also been successful in bringing down the birth rate from 40.8, very high, okay, to 20.8 during the same years, that is during the 1951 to 2015. But still is higher. The birth rate of India is higher than the developed countries of the world. And one problem here is that, okay, the situation is more alarming when seen in the context of gender specific and rural urban indicators. So for example, India has recorded declining female sex ratio, which is not good. India has recorded declining female sex ratio, means the number of females is declining. The number of females per 1000 males is decreasing. That means unfavorable sex ratio is there, negative sex ratio has been there. The findings of 2011 census are very disturbing, particularly in case of child sex ratio in the age group of 0 to 6 years. So when we examine the sex ratio of the age group 0 to 6, it is very, very alarming. Okay. So the other significant features of this report are, with the exception of Kerala, the child sex ratio has declined in all the states, and it is the most alarming in the developed states of Haryana and Punjab. So Haryana and Punjab have the lowest child sex ratio, means a very least number of girls in these developed states of India. But Kerala, the condition is good, okay, favorable. And in these states, Haryana and Punjab, the child sex ratio is 850 female children per 1000 male children. So this is about the child sex ratio in different states of India. And remember, these the indicators, okay, used to measure a healthy life are those facilities like to reduce or to increase the healthcare facilities is given here, okay, to reduce the infant mortality, post-delivery deaths among the mothers. Then provision of old age health care, provision of adequate nutrition and safety of individuals. These are important measures of a healthy and a reasonably long life. Okay. Remember, life expectancy at birth and life free from illness also indicate, okay, a healthy life. And next we have the third one, indicators of social empowerment. Okay, this is the third one. So as we discussed earlier, development is freedom. Okay, development is freedom. That is freedom from hunger, poverty, servitude, bondage, ignorance, illiteracy, and any other forms of domination is the key to human development. Okay, so for the indicators of social empowerment, I say freedom from hunger, then freedom from poverty, freedom from servitude. Servitude, you know, state of subjection to an owner or master or a forced labor. Okay, that means it is almost similar with slavery, bondage. Okay, then ignorance, illiteracy. That means a life free from ignorance, life free from illiteracy, and any other forms of domination is the key to human development. Freedom in real sense of term is possible only with the empowerment and the participation of the people in the exercise of their capabilities and choices in society. How can the people be empowered? Okay, empowerment can be there only when we have this access to knowledge, when people are educated. Okay, when people are educated and when people are known about the fundamentals, about society and the environment, about the quality of society environment. Okay, then only after that there will be empowerment. So these access to knowledge about society and environment are fundamental to freedom. Means if we need freedom, then we need empowerment, and empowerment comes from knowledge, and so knowledge is related with education. So that is the point I mentioned here. Okay, as given here, see, literacy is the beginning of access to such world of knowledge and freedom. That means knowledge and the freedom of people depends on the accessibility, okay, to education. If people are not accessible to education, if people are not educated, then so they are limited from knowledge and freedom. So about the literacy rates, just see here, this table shows the literacy rates of India, of different states of India for 2011. For the whole India, the literacy rate is 74.04% and the female literacy is 65.46%. And if we have a look, examine, okay, the table quickly, then we will find that Kerala okay, has the highest literacy rate in India with a rate of 93.91 for the whole state, and the female literacy rate is 91.98. Okay, remember, Kerala has the highest literacy rate with 93.91%, and Bihar has the lowest. Okay, Bihar has the lowest literacy rate in India. The literacy rate is 63.82, and the female literacy is only 53.33. But Bihar is also improving, okay, has been improving, because it was only 46 in the year 2001. Then our state Manipur has a literacy rate of 79.85 and female literacy 73.17. And that we have already read table number 3.3, and so you will find these features here. If you read table number 3.3, then you will find these features. What are those features? Let us read. Overall literacy rate in India is approximately 74.04%. Okay, and female literacy is 65.46%. Total literacy as well as female literacy is higher than the national average in most of the states from South India. Okay, that means southern states have higher literacy rate than the northern states. There are wide regional disparities in literacy rate across the states of India. We find a lot of variation in the literacy rate in different states of India. As we have known earlier that there is a state like Bihar which has a very low literacy rate, 63.82%, and a state like Kerala and Mizoram which have literacy rates of 93.91 and 91.55% respectively. For Kerala 93.91 and Mizoram 91.55%. So this is about the distribution of literacy rate in India. Okay, which is a very important aspect of social empowerment. And if we look this map, see here, this map shows the literacy rates in different states of India in 2011. So let us have a look. See here the lesion. Here the darkest shade represents literacy rate between 90 to 94%. So we have stats like here Kerala, for example, and here the same here Goa is here. Then here we have Mizoram is here. Okay, Mizoram is here, and for the Union Territories we have Delhi. And next we have 80 to 90%. Okay, this color, this tint represents 85 to 90%. Okay, 85 to 90%. Just we have states like Maharashtra. Okay, here states like Maharashtra, and here Himachal Pradesh and so on. Okay, you may look another map. Just see here, just Kerala is the highest. Next we have Mizoram. Then Tripura is also coming under 85 to 90%. And most of you see the red shaded areas. Most of the northern states of India have literacy rate below 75% if we examine this map. Okay. Any question up to here?
No, sir.
So the last part, Swastika Bharat Mission. Okay, so this is a new edition. If you are using old edition textbook, you may not find it, but it is there in the new edition book. And this is also very important. Okay, maybe asked in the CBSE exam. And I think all of you are familiar with Swastika Bharat Mission. Again, let us read what are the objectives of Swastika Bharat Mission and why the Swastika Bharat Mission has been launched by the government in India. Let us read. See, the release of toxic and non-biodegradable wastes from industries and the urban sewerage and open defecation have created many health hazards. See, industries in India are releasing toxic and non-biodegradable materials, wastes, At the same time, urban sewerage, okay, from the these bathrooms and toilets in the urban buildings, and often defecation, that is often defecation, not defecation done in the public places, okay, have created many health hazards, pollutions, environmental pollutions. The government of India has initiated many steps to address this problem, and the Swastika Bharat Mission is one of these. To solve the problem, this environmental problem, okay, to solve the health hazards of the people, the government India has launched this Swastika Bharat Mission, because we know that a healthy mind lives in a healthy body, and for a healthy body, clean environment, particularly clean air, water, noise-free ambience means environment, and hygiene, okay, surroundings are prerequisites. So to have a healthy mind and a healthy body, to have a healthy mind and a healthy body, we need a clean body, we need a very clean environment, clean air, clean water, noise pollution free environment. We need a good hygiene of our surroundings. Then municipal waste and industrial effluents and pollutants generated by transport, etc. are the major source of pollution in the urban India. Open defecation in rural areas and in the urban slums are the major source of pollution. The government India had with its flagship program, Swastika Bharat Mission, okay, aims at pollution-free environment. And the objectives of Swastika Bharat Mission are given below. Okay, so the first objective is here, making India often defecation-free and achieving 100% scientific management of municipal and solid waste, construction of individual household latrines, community toilet seats, and public toilet seats. Then making provisions, okay, making provisions for the supply of clean energy fuel, that is LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, to all the households in rural India to reduce domestic pollution. Okay, we know that when we use coal, firewood, cow dung for cooking, then it pollutes the environment. So if we use LPG, then it is fuel efficient and less polluted, okay, that is why. Then another objective, providing potable drinking water to every household to control the spread of waterborne diseases. Last but not the least, promoting the use of non-conventional energy resources like wind and solar energy. Instead of using conventional energy resources like coal, petroleum, we must be we must try to substitute the use of conventional energy resources by non-conventional energy resources like wind, solar energy. So this is about Swastika Bharat Mission. Okay, you have to memorize the objectives of Swastika Bharat Mission because this is very important. So up to here, any question?
No, sir.
Okay, then for today, let us stop here. Thank you very much for joining my class.